Hello, welcome back. Today we've got another £200 of 10p's we're going to be hunting through. We're looking for alphabet 10p's, ideally 2019 dated ones, because we've never completed the 2019 book, but we're getting very close. So far we have A, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L and M, N, O, P, R, T, U, V, W and X. So we've still got 5 to go, but 2019 dated alphabet 10p's are so low minted and hard to find. We've got another 2018 book, which we are 2 coins off of completing. This will be my 3rd completed book once we find the letters D for double decker and R for Robin Redbreast. So let's cross our fingers, get into these bags, see what we find today. Okay then, whilst the coin hunt is ongoing, I'm going to be responding to some recent comments left on my videos. To get a comment into me, or for me to answer your question, just leave a comment on a recent video and I might just take a screenshot of it and use it for a future Q&A video. Just a reminder, I'm going to the Royal Mint. I'm terrible at remembering dates, so I've got it written down. I am going on November the 22nd and 23rd. It's rapidly approaching. I'll be there at 1 PM both days to get the new Snowman Strike Your Own 50p. If you want to come along and say hi, that's when I'm going to be there. Right. Oh my goodness, where does this name start? Effian Wynne Williams Iffy 1288 says, I hope I've figured out that there's no spaces there, so I was trying to work out your name. I apologise if I got it wrong, but I've tried my best. I have found a First World War £2 coin with a huge mint error. The central disc was inserted back to front and on a tilt. So I was wondering how much it's worth. Any advice would be appreciated. I'm trying to visualize that. The central disc was inserted back to front and on a tilt. If you mean that you have a £2 coin and the inner part is the wrong way around, because there's no right or wrong way for a blank to be put in because it's blank. If you mean that you have the... I need a £2 coin to work this out. If you have the inner reverse with an outer obverse and vice versa, so I've got a Shakespeare's... where's the camera? Shakespeare's Tragedies here. If you have the Skull and the Rose with this border and vice versa, that has been done after minting. It can't have come out of the Royal Mint struck like that, because the die that strikes a £2 coin is all one piece and all strikes all in one, all at the same time. It's not like the inner is struck and then the outer is struck and then they're fused together. That all happens in one motion. So you can't have a mix-up of that. If that's what you mean, that's not the case. I can't quite work out what else it might be, but always feel free to, if you've got interesting error coins you want a second opinion of, there's plenty of different social media channels, or my Discord server. We have a whole section dedicated to error coins with people much more knowledgeable on the topic than I, so I'd recommend joining that if you've got some interesting coins you want to ask a few opinions on. But as ever with these error coins, you need to be conscious and aware they might not be errors, they might just be damage, so don't be too precious about it. Ian Montgomery says, have you ever found a £2 coin that has no edge inscription at all, or heard others finding one? So some of the territory coins, so I can't remember which ones particularly off the top of my head, don't have edge inscriptions on the £2 coins. Is it the Isle of Man don't have them? No, I think so. Well, somewhere they make £2 coins that don't. All £2 coins, I'm just trying to think, will have an edge inscription. There might be letters, numbers, parts of letters or numbers missing from that, because there's just an inconsistency that happens when you're making circulated coins at such volume and speed. I did actually, last time I was at the Royal Mint experience, getting the Monopoly 50p Strike Your Own, someone said they had a Lord Kitchener with no edge inscription. I thought, oh, that's quite exciting. Had a look at it, unfortunately it was a fake coin. But yeah, if you've got a £2 coin that's a UK one with no edge inscription, it might just be a fake, because it's a harder bit of sort of security for the counterfeiters to create or replicate. Okay, Colin says, Commonwealth Games coins probably getting scarcer because people are collecting them. Very true. But they're still out there. I still get messages on a regular basis from people in the comments on my £2 coin hunts, or people messaging me directly to say that they found them. So they are still out there and worth looking for. But yeah, I mean, in my mind, that's a positive. If things are getting harder to find because other people are collecting, that means that the hobby is thriving. There are people still looking for them, still finding them, and that's a positive. So it's not all doom and gloom, people. Zishan says, I see you separate the Britannias and Royal Shields. Why is that? And what are you doing with the coins off camera? Do you look through them again for specific dates? I basically want to know the whole process. Haha. So with £2, no, £2 coins, you're talking about 50p's. 50p's, yes. I keep the Britannias and the Shields separate. So I keep the Britannias in my hand and the Shields down on my desk. There are little piles off to my left, off the camera. And I put all the Shields together, all the Britannias together. And at the end of doing that hunt, pulling out all the commemoratives, I go back through them. I normally start with the Britannias, then go to the Shields. What I'm doing is I'm looking for the key dates. It's much easier to spot key dates when I've separated the Britannias from the Shields. I know some people do it during the hunt. It's just too much for my little brain. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. It's too much for my little brain to do the key dates whilst doing the hunt as well. I think I would worry that I would miss something. So it takes, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to go back through those definitives, looking for those errors. Same with the £2 coins. The technologies are all put together. I'm not looking for key dates because although there are some lower minted years, they're not desirable enough coins that I keep my eyes out, but I will check for rotation errors, edge inscription errors, double die errors, those kind of things, just going back through them. So yeah, that's what I do with them off camera, looking for key dates and interesting errors, I guess. John Colve says that flag error ... is a sleeping cat ? Yeah, so some people will call, so there is the Navy Centenary with the flag error. It looks like a flag at the top of the mast, I think is the word. So what has caused that is the die which is used to strike the design onto the coin. There's just been a bit of damage to it, a little chip, because you think that it's striking, was it 60 tons worth of pressure? They can strike up to 12 coins a second or something crazy like that. It's 12 or 16, I can't remember, but it's a lot of coins, and it will do that for 500,000 strikes over the lifetime of that die before it needs to be replaced. Now that little chip causes a void in the die, which causes that little blob of extra metal to appear there, and it's just got worse and worse and worse as the die has sort of broken down, and then have to be replaced with a new one to strike more coins. So it's just got the full flag error is, it must be towards the end of that production, because it's got much more pronounced, that sort of blob of metal, that error. But it started off as that little bit. So yeah, I have heard people calling a partial flag error, half flag error, or sleeping cat error. But yeah, it's a die chip crack, whatever it is. Again, error coins, I know enough to get by, but not my specialist subject. Kane YR says, are we carrying on this book past 104 hunts because there's more to find than the last £2 coin book? Or are we starting a new book after a year, just like the £2 coin hunt? Another great daily video as always. Thank you very much. So I don't specifically start off a book with a plan in mind. This book's going to run for this many episodes, weeks, months, whatever it happens to be. I try to complete the book is the plan. If I can complete the book, amazing. If I'm left with just the rarest coin, I might round it to the closest 10, or I think we were close to the 1 year anniversary for the last £2 coin book, and that's where I'd end it. Current £2 coin book, I'm missing a commemorative Rio handover and all four Commonwealth games. I think I'm going to carry on until at least I found them all except the Northern Ireland Commonwealth games. Hopefully I find that one, and then I can say, well, we've got the rarest, we've got to find the rest, right? So we could be in for the long haul on that one. Ducklord says 999,000 views. Yes, and it actually has ticked over since then. This is a recent success story of mine. In fact, it was the first video that I have produced that has surpassed 1 million views. 1 million views. It is bonkers to think that. My mother's been very busy refreshing that video and accounts for 75% of those views, but no, I'm very grateful for that. No, she didn't do that. Okay. But yeah, to have a video that has been viewed 1 million times is pretty special, and that was, if you haven't seen it, surely if you're watching this you've seen that. It's the one where I found my fried egg era £2 coin, £2 coin hunt book. I can't remember because I can't see it on the screenshot. Episode 89, one of the rarest coins I have ever found. Definitely worth a watch. It is the coolest coin I've ever found in one of my coin hunts, that fried egg era. So and thank you to everyone that has watched it, because it's very cool to have a video that's got over now 1 million views. It's a nice little milestone. Right, one last comment. Stephen Burgess says, I read somewhere that the reason that no £2 coins have been in circulation in 10 years is because there were so many of the new £1 coins circulated. As a good guess, as any I suppose, those 4 crates of £1 at the Royal Mint certainly suggest it. So there are a couple of crates with those, what were then and now are probably not new, or the current £1 coin. The ones in the crates aren't part of mintage figures. They were struck for the display purpose. So they're not part of the mintage figure, is what I've always been told. But yes, I think I tend to agree with you. Not so much in terms of there haven't been new £2 coins for circulation for so long because there are so many pound coins. I think it's more to do with the £1 coin was, and probably still is, the most secure circulating coin in the world. There are so many security features, some that we publicly know what it is, and some there are secret squirrel tech inside those coins to make them more secure than any other circulated coin. So if we need more £2 coins or pound coins, what are they going to prefer to strike? Probably the £1 coin, because it's the most secure coin. It's a shame, because when I worked in retail, £2 coins were like gold dust. £2 coins and £5 notes, if you had them in your till, it was great, and they would all disappear very, very quickly. But yeah, I think that's more the rationale. Similar sort of lines, but I think the preference is to make the pound coins because they're so much more secure compared to the £2 coin. That's what I think on that. But of course, share your thoughts down in those comments. With that being said, let's go back to the coins and see what I found. Oh, very nice. Penultimate bag, V for Villages, 2018. Not one of the 2 we still need, but amazing find. Well, there we go, our finds for today. One from Jersey. And there we have it, 2010 dated. One from Guernsey, 1992. Very good vintage, if I say so myself. A very lovely design from the Isle of Man, this little Manx cat. Beautiful portrait of the Queen as well, 2017 dated. That I thought was going to be our star find, but right at the end, penultimate bag of the hunt, V for Villages. As we said, 2018, not one we need for the book. We need D for Doubledecker and R for Robin Redbreast, but we're never going to grumble at having found one of these. That's what these are the ones that we're really after, although I take more of these Isle of Man lovely designs. Now, if you two have been fortunate enough to find an alphabet 10p, I'd love to know down in those comments what you have found as well. There's normally a handful of us that are lucky enough to have come across one, and when I'm part of that group, I'm very, very happy too. As usual, there are also links in the description of this video across to my coin collecting Discord server if you'd like to join me and other collectors over on that. There's also links to my other social media channels, the PO Box address if you'd like to write into me, and of course a link to the Britannia Coin Company's YouTube channel, the company I work for as my day job, so please check them out too. All it leaves me to do now is thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more coins. Bye!